My name is Chris Palmieri, and I'm teaching Art Day 398, Designing Everyday Life in Modern Japan at Japan House. I'm originally from New Jersey, and I went to the University of Illinois and studied graphic design. When I entered the program of graphic design, I asked the program director what other classes I should be taking to supplement my education as a designer. And he recommended that I take Kimiko Gunji's Ikebana class. And so I did that with zero knowledge of Ikebana or Japan in general. And that eventually led me to a study abroad in Japan at Nihon University. Went back to the U of I, graduated, and then immediately moved back to Japan to start my design career here. And so I started a design studio, and that's been my life pretty much ever since. Anytime that either Jennifer or Kimiko came to Japan, came to Tokyo, I always tried to find time in their schedule to meet up with them to see what's going on at Japan House and also share a little bit about what I'm doing. You know, I started sharing with her some of the things that I was chewing on as a working designer in Tokyo, the things that I found interesting about the city, you know, sort of how to observe the city as a designer, and sort of how I design my own environments that I have control over. So my house, my studio, etc. And I think that planted a seed in her mind that, okay, maybe this is something we could turn into a class at some point. And so she reached out to me maybe about 6-8 months ago and said, would you like to try this out? Kind of with a blank slate in terms of what the topic is. And, you know, I spent about 6 months like translating texts and like, you know, buying out of print books and stuff like that to put the curriculum together. And here we are. I just finished my first studio class last Friday. In RJ 398, we cover about 100 years of design history from around 1923, 1926, just following the Kanto earthquake, all the way through current day. And we do that mainly focusing on a couple key figures that worked in various design fields. So we cover architecture, fashion, graphic design, industrial design, and so on and so forth. Design is always changing to kind of meet the moment, meet the state that the world is in. And so in one era, designers may be responding to the birth of industrial manufacturing, either by rebelling against it and embracing craft, or embracing it and making some really, you know, refined mass-produced goods. Then in another era, they may be responding to a housing shortage, for example, after World War II. And designers are kind of always in the mix of the different social problems of the era, and really have a decision to make about how they want to participate, what problems they want to take on, and how to adapt their own practices to meet the moment. I think it's really exciting for Japan House, which in my mind has always been associated with traditional arts and crafts that are hundreds of years old, can engage with the modern era as well. Not only looking to learn from what Japan is doing well or has done well in the past, but also taking a critical lens to you know, some of the practices of designers and the people that they were working with. You know, I would like in some small way to see Japan House be a place where sort of Japan's history and Japan's present could be presented pretty objectively for students to kind of take away what they want out of it. So as you noticed, I'm in my kitchen. This kitchen I designed myself with some help from architect friends. Some of the materials you see here actually show up in the lectures of the class as well, some of the design decisions. So for example, the tile on the wall behind me is from the Tajimi region of Japan, which has been sort of like the mecca of domestic tile production since the mid 20th century. And that industry has kind of fallen a little bit out of fashion. I mean, the tile is not used in quite the same way as it was in Japan, but a Swiss art director actually collaborated with one of the factories there and kind of reinvented the brand so that they have a new line of products that are appealing to like a design conscious, like global audience. You know, I find those little lineages like really cool that, you know, in a small way, the place that I'm talking to you from now is sort of completely interwoven within the class. So the class itself is extremely personal for me. You know, I told the students that I'm extremely biased on everything that I'm going to share with you this semester because I picked it all out because I found it interesting. Yeah, for me, like history is personal, design is personal, and I kind of just want to lay that all out.